Oh, I feel great. Them guys was able to have a strong year last year. Was able to battle through a lot of stuff, from injuries and all that standpoint. And but at the end of the year, they was able to put it all together and put their best footing forward, I guess you can say, in the bowl game. And so it's a lot to build on. It's a lot to learn from. So them guys, I gave them a little assignment to do at the end of the year once they was able to kind of get some rest, recovery, reset, and then actually, once they got back into it, once before we started spring ball, they had kind of some stuff that I advised them that they probably should do as a player to try to help their game. Yeah, everybody's back healthy. Everybody's ready to rock and roll. So those guys are excited. They had a very strong summer. So I think they kind of just excited just to get back started. It's an exciting time of the year right now, because football is right around the corner. So they just trying to finish this strength and conditioning on a high note. Have a few days to kind of reset, and then it's time to rock and roll. And I'm excited to get on the grass with them and kind of see the hard work that they've been putting in.
CJ, after the first year as a group, what did you go into the first year last year wanting to accomplish with them? What at the end of the year the three of them combined, what did they do to impress you and meet your goal?
That's a great question. I really just wanted to accomplish trust, honestly. There wasn't huge high expectations of such a young group, but I wanted them to be confident in their ability. I wanted them to know that they can play on this level. But the biggest thing for me was just getting that trust, because I didn't recruit any of those guys in the room. Obviously, I followed their careers in high school and obviously their recruiting process, but I didn't have a chance to sit down in their living rooms and try to recruit them. So going into it, I just wanted to just build that trust with them. And it was a two-way street, and it took some time. And I think as the season went on, it got better and better. And I think now we're in a good spot from a trust factor. And those guys understand that I'm here to help them to be better first as a young man, and then as a football player. So I think if we continue to just to build on that, I think we'll be in a good spot.
CJ, going into your second year as running backs coach, what's the difference last year being first time and this coming season? What's the difference?
Well, the biggest difference is that we got a different offensive coordinator, so that's going to be adjustment. But we had a strong relationship, or a strong building, a bond for the bowl game. So we kind of got that familiar, and then really just understanding the offense a whole lot better. Last year it was trying to just learn the offense and get the terminology down, understand the blocking scheme, understanding what people doing, understanding the concepts, because it was new. It was different from what I was accustomed to playing in and being around. So this year just it's a lot more familiarity with just the terminology.
What did you learn about yourself during last year?
What I learned about myself, really just trusting my instincts. Honestly, I really had to rely on that, and really just trying to do it my way, I guess you can say. And sometimes once you get into coaching, what I learned early is that you can kind of try to start doing it other people's way and try to mimic what they was doing, and it kind of get you off who you really are and not being authentic. So that took probably about 2 or 3 weeks for me to adjust from that. And then once I did that and realized, hey man, I can just only do it my way. I can only be who I am. I can't be somebody else, I guess you can say. Once I did that, then I kind of settled in and really just picked up.
Coach Elliott just kind of let you go, right? You appreciated that?
Yeah, I did. And I think that was huge, because he really wanted me to get my feet wet and really understand it. But at the same time, he was great if I ever had a question or if I didn't understand something. He was always a great listening ear and always very helpful for that. And really, he made that transition very smooth for me, and he built a lot of confidence in me and myself by just letting me have the room for myself instead of being together as the initial plan was to be.
Did you even know what your way was going into next last year?
Well, I knew that that I wasn't going to be a yeller, because I didn't like that as a player. I thought, coaches that done all the yelling, they just done that for whatever reasons, for attention or whatever the case may be. But, so I knew going into it that I wasn't going to be a big yeller, but I knew how to get my point across. But there was still a lot that I didn't know going into it, just because it was new. It was first time, and so it was totally different than the players. So that's where a veteran staff like Coach Elliott, like Coach Robert Caldwell, like Coach Streeter, and Grisham, who had already been through the process, those guys came in and very helpful to make that transition smooth.
You spoke about veteran coaches. What was it like to platoon those guys and to get them used to the platoon, and then dealing with the injuries that you did, preparing the other guys to pick up the slack?
Yeah, it was different. Anytime you have injuries in your room, it definitely hampered. But that also allows somebody else to pick up their game and to step up and showcase what they can do. It sucked that some of your best players get injured because I ain't gonna say at a disadvantage, but you ain't at your full arsenal, I guess you can say. But those guys fought through it, and we always talk about it. Well, I always stress to those guys anyway, is that you always want to play away from being the starter. So you better prepare like you're the starter because at the end of the day, they're not gonna cancel the game. They're still gonna kick it off, and you got to be ready to go out there and execute. And for us in our room is that the standard doesn't change no matter who's back there in the backfield. It still remains the same. So when Shipley went down, they gave Kobe opportunity, and then when he got nicked up, it gave my man Phil opportunity. And those guys, they was prepared for it, and they went out there and they showcased what they could do.
What do you expect to see from Keith this year?
Keith?
Talented group.
I think he's great for our room. He comes in, wide open, eager to learn, very hungry. I think he's going to add some competition. This is a kid that's self-motivated, so it doesn't take a lot to motivate him. So I'm excited to get to work with him, and he's a great kid off the field, so that makes the fit even better in our room. And he's coming in there asking all the right questions. He's want to know from those older guys, which only been in the system. With Kobe's the oldest in there now. With Phil and Will, they only been in 2 years, but he's asking all the right questions, and those guys doing a great job of taking him up under their wing. And as a coach, you kind of sit back and you try to watch that stuff because I know as a player, I know how it was coming in as a freshman. Who's going to take who up under the wing and kind of show them a way because it's new. They're away from home for the first time. They having to go through strength training, having to adjust to college life. So you want to have somebody veteran that's going to take you up under their wing and kind of show you the way to try to make that transition as smooth as possible.
Will came in here last year and he was already one of the leaders.
Yeah.
What do you see different this year leadership-wise?
Will just picking up where he left off, honestly. He's very vocal. He came in with that. This is a kid that knows what he want to do in life, and he has his goals that he want to accomplish, and he doesn't get distracted from those. So, but at the same time, he does a great job of elevating his teammates' play, and that's what you want as a player. Can you elevate everybody else's play up to where your play is? And he does a great job of doing that. If you ever had a chance to watch him run rim sprints, I don't think he'd have lost one yet. He's always in the front. The kid has a very natural leadership skill.
One of the biggest areas that you have to train at a high school running back in college is pass pro. And during spring game, Moffitt was picking up blitz packages and giving those guys a hard time. How easy was it for him to pick that up? Was that something you guys worked on over the spring?
Yeah, we just talked about it. The biggest thing is just knowing the identification. If you know who you're blocking, and then that make the job easy. But then just knowing, what type of rusher are the guy. That's the second biggest part of it is, is this guy a bull rusher? Is he a jump around guy? So if you know that before, the guy blitzes, then you can kind of have your game plan in your hand to be able to counter what he's doing. So, we did a good job, in the spring trying to study in guys of, what type of rusher they were and then just understanding where the blitz was coming from. And I think he did a great job of learning that.
Coach, with Shipley and Pace, how are they 100%? Can you take us through what they've been through?
Well, I don't want to get into that to percentage. They'll be ready for fall camp. I just know they'll be ready.
How do you see their roles? You've got three good guys guys. How do you, in your mind, how are you dividing that up?
I mean, me and the coaches, we do a great job of keeping count of all the reps. So I have a chart, which I know, how many reps they take each practice, and then over the time I kind of look at it and kind of see what the numbers are. If I feel like, Shipley took a buttload, then I can kind of be able to let Colby or Martha Man take some of the share off that. So I just have a system that Coach Elliott provided for me that I kind of just go by, and that's kind of how I just keep the reps of that. But like you said, it's 3 great guys, and there's only one of us can run out there, and all those guys, they understand that. So it's a great healthy competition in there, and all those guys prepare as if they are the one that's going to run out there first.
With Brandon running the offense now,
Excuse me.
what do you think we're going to see difference in the running game?
To be determined. I can't be giving y'all the juice. Nah, the biggest thing is just everybody just getting on the same page. I think, obviously we know that, running the football is going to pay dividends, as you get later in the season. So, you want to try to establish that early. And, I think Coach Streeter, he understands that this is not his first rodeo of calling plays. So, we had a great spring chemistry, just trying to get on the same page with everybody, making sure that we all speaking the same language. I think if we get that part right, then it make the transition smooth. But we're still gonna run the football. Like we said, we got 3 potential first or second rounders in the running back room.